Hey guys, welcome to OmniTell-general. I just wanted to take this time and give a little bit more of a in-depth deck tech to my Fae of Wishes build. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16 blue sources. That puts us at 90.1% chance to draw one or more in our opening hand. That's usually good enough. Sometimes, sometimes you like to have 17 or 18 blue sources. That would be these two Seagate restorations. So that bumps us up to 17, 18, and that puts us at a 93.0% chance to draw one or more in our opening hand. Now, a lot of other lists usually play like 17 cantrips or, you know, 17 to 15. And what I did is I cut two cantrips for these two Seagate restorations because it is common to over cantrip and not get the card that you need. So with those extra two blue sources, that bumps us up to 20, and it gives us a 95.2% chance to draw one or more in our opening hand. Now I know what you're thinking, and everybody says it. It's too much land. I'm crazy. I know. But these Seagates, these four Seagate restorations really make the difference. And then we've got our two Ancient Tombs, two City of Traders split. So we can get to our 4 mana for our Fae of Wishes and our 3 mana for, solve the equation, stock up, intuition. Now, I was on 4 stock ups for a while, and stock up's great. Can't take anything away from it. But leagues are a crazy place to be. There's 500 people at one time. You never know what you're going to pair up against. And stock up really isn't great against aggressive strategies, aggro decks, whatever, because you're not getting the specific card that you need. Stock up is really good against, like Delver and control matchups where you have some time to cast it, and if you whiff, it's not so bad. So I'm trying out this split. I have two intuitions in the sideboard, two stock ups in the sideboard to bring them in for, if I'm playing against aggro, I'll bring in the intuitions. If I'm playing against control or whatever, I'll bring in the stock ups. They're in the sideboard. I'll get to that in a little bit. So we've got our 8 protection spells, pretty standard. 8 protection spells gives you a 65.4 chance to draw one or more in your opening hand. I'm trying out Pact of Negation because I think it really helps you out against Deus decks. When you're pressured for mana, you can just play Pact. I am on 3 Brainstorms and 5 Fetch lands. I know what you're thinking, and it's fine. But for a long time, I played 3 copies of Masters 25 Brainstorm and 1 Ice Age. And the 4th Brainstorm really doesn't do as much as people think it does. But it's fine. To each his their own. You want to play 4 Brainstorms, play 4 Brainstorms. I just haven't been into that in a while. Then we have our 3 Cunning Wishes. Now, this is kind of like the win condition slot. We have our 2 Fae of Wishes here that would have been Emrakul's, but instead, they're Fae of Wishes. This foil Fae of Wishes represents the 4th Show and Tell, and this full art one represents the 4th Omni. Now, there's a lot of times where you just overdraw Show and Tell or Omniscience, and you really don't need two or three of the same card in your hand at once. Um, there's a lot of times where you're in top deck mode and you need to draw a win condition, or you're casting stock up and your five cards is like lands, a counterspell, and an omniscience. Like, you need to win the game on that turn, and you can't. So I've been on this for a while. Now, post omniscience, when we're going for the win, this bumps us up for one, two, three, four, seven, and 10. So like, a definite seven that will win you the game, and then 10, potential. And of course, you have your preordains, your ponders, and your impulse brainstorms to support that. Seagate restorations to support it as well. All right, let's get into the sideboard. So I have the two intuitions, the two stock ups, like we talked about earlier. I'm just siding in the ones that are good for the matchup. Two pact negations, good for tempo. Two echoing truths. Echoing truth has been huge. It's been really good at bouncing double disruptor flutes. I had a match yesterday where I was like, wow, I really need to, like, I had everything in my hand. I was like, I just need to draw a way to beat this leyline binding. Like, I know they're playing it. I lost to it one game, and I'm like, I just need to draw it. Like, let's get this cunning wish. I drew an echoing truth, and I was kind of like tilted. And then I was like, wait a second. Echoing Truth does it too. So I cast the show, I put in the Omni, he put in the Leyline Binding, I put the trigger on stack, Echoing Truth did it, and won from there. So Echoing Truth has been really good. I've also bounced 2020s. It's just been really good. So our main win, the easy way to do it is to get Enter the Infinite, cast Into the Infinite. It's one of my favorite ways to win, and after you cast Enter the Infinite, you just Fae of Wishes for Approach of the Second Sun. Cast your approach, and then you play whatever cantrip to get your approach again and win. The Eldamiri's Claw has been really huge because this lets your Cunning Wish turn into Enter the Infinite. So you Cunning Wish for Eldamiri's Call, you call for Fae of Wishes for Enter the Infinite, and that's a wrap. It's a wrap from there. You can also Fae of Wishes for Invent Invert, if you think that they're holding, sandbagging something for a stack war. And yeah, I mean, we've got the fourth Omni, we've got the fourth Show and Tell. And I really want to encourage people to do this. Play three copies of one art and then an odd copy for your fourth card. And you'll be able to see for yourself the difference, like I talked about earlier with brainstorms, like I do with show and tells, and with omniscience. There's just a lot of times where you're overdrawing show and tell, and it's just not really that good. You have two, three show and tells in your hand, and what are you doing with them? Nothing. So we also have the Sublime Epiphany. And the Sublime Epiphany invent line is really huge. Some people don't play it, whatever, but I think you need it. I think it's huge. In those times where you're going off with low resources, you cast your show, you put in your Omni, you have the Cunning Wish. There's been lots of times where people put the trigger, they'll put something into play that doesn't even matter, but it triggers. They have a come to play trigger on the stack, and then they'll cast a Boseiju to try and destroy your omniscience, or whatever the case is. And then you're like, okay, cutting wish for invent invert. You invent for usually solve the equation because you can get another cutting wish with it. So you invent invert for solve the equation, cunning wish. You cunning wish for sublime. You deal with the thing. You bounce a permanent. You draw a card. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Then you cast your solve the equation for your last cunning wish, and you can just cunning wish for Eldamiri's call for Fae for into it. Like it's it works. It's pretty good. So other things that I have done with the sideboard is I've played disruptor flutes. Disruptor flutes is also really good. Um, I haven't really been running into a lot of sneak show lately. I was mainly playing disruptor flute against sneak show because sneak attack is a real big problem for us. Their show and tells aren't really that bad for us because generally they're putting in a creature, we're putting in omniscience, and we just have better spells off omniscience. But I haven't been running into that lately, and I'm just trying this out. Stock ups and intuitions. Okay, so that's the deck tech. Um, the Discord, the OmniTell Discord is an awesome place to be. I have pretty much every variant. There's a section for every variant you could want to play, and it's cool. It's in the description. Check it out. All right.